90s, actually, because I've known Julio Sr.
Yeah.
for since mid maybe 20, 25 fights down in Mexico when he was fighting. And when I had Terry Norris, it was mentioned that he would be fighting Terry Norris at a catch weight of 49, I remember, and it's like a $10 million fight or something like that. And his people, his advisors, all talked him out of that fight. Well, now comes Junior, and I have another fighter that can fight. But most of all, I think it's the styles. I think the styles mesh to make for a great, attractive, fan-friendly, TV-friendly, pay-per-view friendly fight. And Chavez is big enough to give us a longer fight. Chavez has a great chin. He inherited that from his daddy. He's a tough kid, good puncher. And I think he'd be the kind of guy that could take the punishment to be able to give us 9, 10, 11, 12 rounds.
Yeah.
To see actually what Gennady's all about. We haven't had a chance to have anybody push him.
Yeah.
Maybe Daniel will. I doubt that, but maybe Daniel will.
Yeah.
I don't think he's big enough. But Chavez would, I think.
This is what Graham was saying, the Daniel trainer. He said he expects this fight to last longer. He expects Daniel to test, actually for the first time to test what can Gennady do, not only as a puncher, but as a fighter. But you always said to us, for many, many years or many, many fights, this is exactly what you want.
This is exactly what I've been asking Tom for. Exactly what I've been asking Tom
But Tom
for.
cannot fight.
No, I've been asking him to make a fight where Gennady can be tested, where Gennady has to show me the things that he shows me in the gym in a fight. Unfortunately for him, he's such talent that sometimes when it gets too easy, he just goes back to doing the things that are consistently good for him. Doesn't try new things, doesn't get creative in there. And when you do something very well, why change? I mean, when you're hitting somebody with the right hand, why change the right hand? You know, it just...
You know you're criticizing the guy who won 26 of 29 fights by KO.
Yes, I'm criticizing him, and I would say that to his face. I need to have more variety in punches. I need to have more variety in moves. I need to have some of the things that we practice in the gym done in a fight. But if you don't have to, then why? You don't have no reserves.
And the main question, the main critique that I've heard of Golovkin from a negative aspect, which you don't get many of, right, is that his head movement seems to be lacking. And that people, I think, say that because he got caught with a couple punches at the Stevens fight.
Okay, well,
You know?
if you go back and you look at, what's that called, CompuBox,
Yeah.
I think that he and Floyd are the top two
True.
defensive-wise,
Defense,
okay?
right.
But he's the top 1 or 2 offensive-wise. So, but you know what? You're going to have criticism. The bottom line is, we as fans, and I'm a fan too, enjoy his style. And in order to have his style, you're going to get hit. I mean, that's the bottom line. You're going to get hit. And we have to have a guy in there that can take a shot. He hasn't really, other than Stevens, he really hasn't got hit too much. I mean, with a clean shot, he's gotten hit with jabs that maybe he's not ready for and his head snaps back. But I have to take those with a grain of salt. If I'm going to give you what you're asking for as a fighter, then I have to take some criticism because he's subjected to getting hit.
I have a question. I don't know if it'll be for you or for Tom. It's the first fight after his dad passed away, after the 40 days of mourning. Could it influence him in any way, shape, or form mentally?
Well, what I've seen from Gennady, and Abel and I were both over there. Team flown over to be with Gennady and his family during the immediate aftermath of his father's passing, and it was a really sudden event. So it clearly affected him and his twin brother Max quite a bit, and understandably the whole family. But what I've seen since he's been back, and since we had him we did a media event for him at the Marquez fight in Los Angeles. Since he's been back in the States, he's just ready to get back and resume his career, and I think it takes some of the focus off of that and off his father's passing, and is able to allow him to focus on the training and the fight and just moving forward that way. It's he's said that it's part of life, and he's come to grips with it, and he's learned from the experience and everything like that. And there's now he's literally become the patriarch of the family. He's the oldest brother of the twins. His two older brothers had passed away before, and so there's more pressure, I would say, on him as far as supporting the family. But Gennady, is one of the best under pressure that we've seen, and Abel can tell you in the training if there's anything that he sees, but anything that any interaction that I've had with him, he's completely focused on the fight, and I think he's ready to perform on the main stage. He performed on Broadway yesterday, and now it's actually the first time a boxer has been in a Broadway play and fought in the big arena in Madison Square Garden in history. So we were excited about that, and he's very comfortable in the spotlight and in front of big audiences, and that's what I think is a big part of his attraction.
Thank you.
Are there any plans to maybe in the future maybe go after the WBC middleweight title, Miguel Cotto?
I think that's a question for Tom, but on our side, on the training side, and on Gennady, I'm sure that it's been written in the past 2-3 days that he definitely wants to unify. He wants to unify, whether we can get those guys in the ring, and it's a catch-22. If we look good on the 26th, we don't get those guys. If we look bad, we don't get those guys. So,
I'd like to follow up with a question like that.
Okay.
I want to take you back to the Macklin fight. In between rounds, after that first round, at the end of that round, Golovkin had Macklin up against the ropes, pushed up, and you said something to him in the corner. Like, were you asking him to just slow it down a little bit? Like,
I was asking him to have fun.
Okay.
Every guy that I train, there's a speech that I give to them when first or second or before they fight, is right around the 4th or 5th round, you're gonna feel like, hey, shit, there's nothing I can't do. This is so much fun. I'm beating the hell out of somebody. And with him, when he got back to the corner, sometimes I give him instructions and he says, "Yeah, coach, I see it," because we're kind of in the same wavelength. But I wanted him to just go out there and have fun and let things just happen, let him flow.